Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here with another TV review. Yes, the fall season has begun, and with that, a lot of TV shows are returning and TV premieres are beginning. And of course, the first TV show on my slate to review this following year is, of course, starting with American Horror Story. Yes, American Horror Story is back, and I'm here to give you my review for American Horror Story Season 6, Episode 1, titled Chapter 1. And of course, now we finally get our subtitle to this season, which is titled American Horror Story My Roanoke Nightmare. Now, with that being said and done, if you have not seen the premiere of the newest season of American Horror Story, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. Now, with that being said and done, let's get into the newest episode of American Horror Story Season 6. Now, the first episode, Chapter 1, following American Horror Story Season 5 Hotel, I think the big thing that I take away from it was a lot of speculation and anticipation, but a lot of divisiveness, because as much as I've enjoyed Ryan Murphy's American Horror Story series, I've really enjoyed the multiple seasons he's given us. This season was definitely on the fence for me because it was the first season, at least as far as I know, that was a show, or at least a season within the show, that really none of us really had any idea of what this show was generally going to be about. This is the first season, I want to say, since maybe the first season, where the creators of this show have really had this whole thing in mystery. They really had the show completely no real leakage of any information up until the premiere, which just happened this night. Now, overall, I was scared because I really had an idea of what the show could have been, and I'm glad to say that the show is the polar opposite of what I thought, considering the fact that the early reports were that the creators were going to focus on maybe children, and the show would focus on children and supernatural and stuff like that, which of course Ryan Murphy has done in the past and he's very obsessive about with this series, but I was scared that they would tackle an entire season based on that, which I would not be a fan of, considering I'm not really a big on supernatural, ghostly kind of things, or at least I'm not, and especially not a big fan of children's stories and horror. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't feel like they're very amazing storylines. However, this show is completely the polar opposite, and the overall idea of the show is that it's a docudrama. The series, at least with the season, starts off with narrations by specific actors, and then we see dramatizations of what the actors are narrating through the course of the first episode, and I'm guessing throughout the entire season. And it's titled, at least through the subtitle, The Roanoke Nightmare. And overall, it's about this story about these two people who go through some form of dark past, find a new home, live in it. A lot of shit goes down within this new home, and lots of creepy, horrifying things ensue in most horror stories. And that's pretty much the overall grasp of the first episode, Chapter 1 of this new season. And overall, I can definitely say, even though I was divisive going in, I'm kind of divisive coming out of this new season. As much as I love American Horror Story, I love the series, I've loved what Ryan Murphy has done so far, I'm not big on the idea of doing this docudrama sort of filmmaking style with the rest of this entire season. I feel like the first episode, it's okay. I feel like the acting's definitely on point. We get to see Lily Rabe and Andre Holland be the real characters in real time, narrating the story of what's happening, the events that we're personally following throughout the story that they have developed for this season. And we get to see Sarah Paulson and Cuba Gooding Jr. Play their reenactors. And I feel like, yes, it's really cool that, and I definitely give a lot of kudos and credit to the creativity of this season, at least the way it seems to be shaping out. However, as much as I appreciate Ryan and Brad's ability to keep their artistic creativity and integrity throughout the series, I definitely can say that this season, at least the way I can see it through the first episode, once again, my opinion could change by the time I reach the end of the season. However, based off this one episode, I can definitely say that this is definitely their most laziest way to premiere this new season, and also the laziest way to become a series that's meta. Now, because it's just the audience is now watching just not even a real story. We're watching a secondhand story, and on top of that, we're seeing nothing really horrific. The thing that really bothered me about the premiere of this newest season is that even though it looks cool and it's acted well and it's very interesting and intriguing, it's like just a big puzzle that you can overall understand the general grasp of what the puzzle is and the picture within the puzzle is. And a lot of that has to deal with the fact that the narrators who we're listening to while we see the reenactors reenact the dramatization of what they're saying, nothing really matters, because at the end of the day, we already know that the reenactors, nothing terrible, at least their lives won't be at risk over the course of the season, because we're watching their narration at the beginning of the freaking episode. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure in true American Horror Story fashion, Ryan Murphy will throw a monkey wrench in there and change something, and like, oh, at the end of the season we find out, oh, it was all fake and everyone was ghosts. You know, something crazy like that could happen over the course of the season, like they've done in previous seasons. But at the end of the day, as I see it, as at its core, in the first episode premiere of this new season, I can definitely say it's not the best premiere to their series, and I can definitely say it's something that I can not really completely buy into yet. I feel like their attempts to be creative and artsy fartsy was just really just lazy, and I don't really find anything really horrifying. I mean, there's a lot of creepy things in there, but that's what this first episode is. It's just creepy. You know, the first episode shouldn't be called American Horror Story. It should be called American Creepy Story, because all we're seeing is creepy, scary antics of ghostly things, but nothing really terrifying, nothing really horrifying, nothing horrific that a lot of us who are hardcore horror fans, or hardcore American Horror Story fans, rather, could really grasp on as being like, this is freaking awesome. At least from my subjective personal opinion. So, at the end of the day, when it comes to the story standpoint and the way they're forming the narrative of this season, I'm not a big fan of. Maybe my opinion will change over the course of the season, especially by the end. But at this point in time, the first episode left me like, I can see where you're going, and I can see this is very paint by numbers, because we can already see what's happening, because the narrators are telling us what's happening. But at its core, it just wasn't really incredible. But with that being said, moving off the story, the actors themselves, really great. I mean, Sarah Paulson and Cuba Gooding Jr. had a lot of chemistry, a lot of good charisma. Cuba Gooding Jr., it's nice to see him really have this nice comeback on TV, and I think his performance was really on point. I really enjoyed his reenactions of what Andre Holland was doing, and I also really appreciate them getting Andre Holland, seeing as I'm such a huge fan of the Nick, and I liked his character on the Nick, so the capabilities of getting on this show, really cool there. And of course, Lily and Sarah, who are American Horror Story characters of prior past seasons, they're good for what they are and what they bring to the table. But at its core, Cuba Gooding Jr. definitely flourishes, and Andre as well, as the real Matt Miller and real narrator of this overall season. And I really like the idea that they got them in there, and now that Cuba Gooding Jr. is a part of the, I guess you can say, FX family, it's nice to see him sprinkled in more shows, so really cool there. It was also really nice to see Angela Bassett in there, and she did pretty good for what she brought to the table. And Adina Porter was also really great. And at its core, the acting overall was really on point. And the cinematography, the scope, the look, the design, the overall filters they used were really cool. The atmosphere was definitely creepy and awesome. Granted, the whole episode was creepy. It was very scary and creepy, and I like that. It's the fall season. We're reaching Halloween. We're reaching October. Really nice setting of the mood when it comes to the creepy vibes of this season. But overall, in the story, really wasn't there. Acting was there, atmosphere was there, but the story just really wasn't on point. I feel like they should have tweaked it a lot more prior to shooting, but that's just my personal opinion. And I'm not a huge fan of this docudrama style. It's like Blair Witch Project meets celebrity ghost stories. But at the end of the day, I guess my final verdict for the first episode of this new season has to be a solid, I want to say a 7 out of 10. I would have said a 6.5, but I did, at its core, I did enjoy what they were trying to go for, and I definitely am intrigued to watch the rest of the episodes within the season. So I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. It was a good episode, but just not a really great, blowing of the door premiere. And also the story, I wasn't a huge fan of the narrative that they're going for. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of other really great things to take away from it, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wasn't blown away by anything. But that's pretty much been my personal opinion on this first episode. I'm excited to see what this new season of American Horror Story brings, and let me know what you personally think in the comments section below. And of course, I'd also like to ask the question, what is your favorite American Horror Story premiere out of all the multiple seasons we got this point? Which is your favorite premiere episode? And let me know in the comments section below. And of course, now that we're entering the fall season with all these new fall premieres, a lot of TV shows are going to be coming out, which I will be reviewing, so stay tuned to my channel. And of course, stay tuned on FX, considering there's a lot of great premieres showing up on FX as well, which I possibly might be reviewing. We'll see what happens. But with that being said and done, comment below. Let me know what you personally think about the newest episode of American Horror Story. Shameless plug time. Follow me on Instagram at Jox12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Jox12.